Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that nearly every Canadian has held at some point in their life. It's a relic from a time when you could still buy something for a penny. It's the humble 1982 1-cent piece. Now, I can already hear you thinking, it's just a penny. I've thrown dozens of these into a jar, or even worse, spent them without a second thought. And for the most part, you'd be right. But what if I told you that nestled among the millions of these bronze discs, there are a few key varieties that can turn this common coin from a piece of pocket change into a collectible worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? That's right. The 1982 Canadian penny is a numismatic legend because of one single year of monumental change. It's a story of a nation's economy, a mint switching suppliers, and tiny, almost invisible differences that create a coin collector's dream or nightmare. So, grab your coin jars and your magnifying glasses, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for to understand why the 1982 penny is so special. We have to go back in time. The early 1980s in Canada were a period of high inflation. The cost of everything was going up, including the metals used to make our coins. For decades, the Canadian penny had been struck in a bronze alloy, primarily copper. But in 1982, the Royal Canadian Mint made a historic decision. To save money, they would switch the composition of the 1-cent coin from high-cost bronze to low-cost copper-plated zinc. On-screen graphic shows a comparison. Bronze, pre-1980, 98% copper, 1.5% zinc, 0.5% tin versus copper-plated zinc, post-1982, 99% zinc core, 1% copper plating. This was a huge deal. The new zinc coins were lighter, had a different sound, and felt different. But here's where it gets messy. The mint didn't use up all the old bronze planchets, or blank coins, on January 1st. And they didn't wait until January 1st, 1983, to only use the new ones. They used both. In the same year. This means that in 1982, you have two fundamentally different pennies, struck from different metals, with the same date. We call these the 1982 large date coins. So, let's meet our two contestants. On my left, we have the 1982 bronze, or copper, large date penny. This is the last of the old guard, the traditional, heavy, solid coin. On my right, we have the 1982 zinc large date penny. This is the new, lightweight, cost-effective future. The host demonstrates the drop test. He drops the bronze penny on the table. It has a deep, bell-like clink. Then he drops the zinc penny. It has a dull, hollow clunk. The sound is a dead giveaway. But you can't rely on sound alone, especially in a YouTube video. The most reliable way to tell them apart, without any special equipment, is the weight. The bronze penny will weigh in at approximately 3.24 grams. The zinc penny is significantly lighter, at about 2.8 grams. If you have a jeweler's scale, this is the easiest and most definitive test. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so there are two types. Big deal. Oh, but it is a big deal. Because the bronze version is much, much rarer. The mint struck over 400 million pennies in 1982, but the vast majority of them were the new zinc composition. It's estimated that only a few million bronze coins were produced before the switch was complete, making them a key date for collectors. Let's get down to brass tacks. Or rather, bronze and zinc tacks. What is the circulated value of these coins? First, the common one, the 1982 zinc large date penny. If you have one of these in typical circulated condition, scratches, wear, maybe a little dark, it's worth exactly 1 cent. Its value is purely face value. You would need to find one in pristine, gem, uncirculated condition to get a premium. And even then, we're talking about $1 or $2 in a lower grade. Let's say a G4, good 4. With a lot of wear, this coin can still be worth $2 to $5. That's a 200 to 500 times return on your 1 cent investment. If you have one in a nicer, average circulated condition, like VF 20, very fine 20, you're looking at $10 to $20. While the bronze large date is the star of the show for most collectors, there is an even more elusive, and some would say mythical, variety. The 1982 small date. Yes. In addition to the two metal compositions, the Royal Canadian Mint also experimented with a slightly different font size for the date. The differences are subtle. Look at the 2 in the date. On the large date, the base of the 2 is straight. On the small date, it has a distinct, graceful curve. The small date variety is exceptionally rare, especially in the bronze composition. It is believed that only a handful of bronze small date coins exist, and they are primarily found in proof-like sets issued by the mint. Finding a 1982 small date in circulation, in any composition, is like finding a needle in a haystack. But if you do, especially if it's the zinc version in superb condition, it can be worth $50 to $200. A bronze small date? If you found one in circulation, you've essentially won the coin collector's lottery. We're talking values in the thousands of dollars. Alright, time for a practical guide. How do you hunt for these treasures? Check the weight. This is the most important step. If you have a scale, and it weighs close to 3.24 grams, you might have a winner. Is it a large date or a small date? Remember the curved base of the 2 for the small date. If the coin is heavily worn, you might see a silvery gray line on the edge. That's the zinc core showing through, which means it's definitely the common zinc version. A bronze coin will be the same reddish-brown color all the way through, even on the edge. The magnet. Reverse, the iconic 2 maple leaves, a design that has been used since 1937. It's simple, elegant, and uniquely Canadian. Below the leaves, you'll find the date, 2004, a year now etched in numismatic history. Alright, let's cut to the chase. You fished a 2004 penny out of an old coat pocket. You flip it over in your hand. What is its value? As a piece of circulating currency, its face value remains 1 cent. And since it's no longer legal tender, you can't even spend it. So, in terms of raw monetary power, it's essentially zeroed a 2004 penny that's been rattling around in circulation for years, with its copper plating worn away to show the gray steel beneath, scratches, dings. That coin is only worth its face value to anyone but the most completist collector. However, a coin in brilliant uncirculated BU condition, a coin that never saw the inside of a cash register, that still has its original mint luster and coppery red color, that's a different beast. Because 2004 was the last circulating year, many people had the foresight to save brand new rolls of pennies. This means there is a large supply of 2004 pennies in uncirculated condition. So, a single, standard 2004 penny in uncirculated condition might only be worth 10 to 25 cents. A full, original 50-coin roll might fetch $5 to $15, depending on the buyer. It's not life-changing money, but it's a 10x to 30x return on face value, which is pretty cool. A common myth is that last year, coins are automatically rare. Let's bust that myth with facts. The Royal Canadian Mint produced over 900 million pennies in 2004. On-screen text, 2004 mintage, 960, 800, 000, with the number counting up dramatically. That's 960 million pennies. So, no, your average 2004 penny is not rare. They are, in fact, one of the most common dates you can find. The rarity comes from the condition and the packaging, not the date itself. Now, this is where the real treasure hunt begins. While a stand, Mint was working at a frenetic pace in 2004, and with that volume comes mistakes. Keep your eyes peeled for the 2004 specimen coin. These were specially struck with a brilliant, mirror-like finish for official Mint sets. They are of much higher quality than regular circulation strikes and are sought after. Off-center strikes *. Imagine the design is printed crookedly on the coin. The more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin. Broad strikes, the coin is struck outside its retaining collar, making it slightly larger and flatter than a normal penny. A major error 2004 penny can be worth $10, $50, or even over $100 to the right collector. So, if your 2004 penny looks a little weird, it might be your ticket to a nice little payday. So, let's summarize. Here's your action plan if you find a worn, circulated 2004 penny. Appreciate it as a piece of history. It's the last of its line. You could start a last year of the penny collection, but don't expect to retire on it. If you find a shiny, uncirculated 2004 penny *, put it in a 2x2 flip or a capsule. It's worth a small premium, and it's a perfect coin to have in any modern Canadian collection. That if you find a 2004 penny that looks strange, misprinted, or unique ***, stop. Do not clean it. Get a second opinion from a trusted coin dealer or an online coin forum. You might have hit the jackpot. The 2004 Canadian penny is a paradox. It's incredibly common, yet historically significant. It's monetarily worthless, yet collectively intriguing. Its true value isn't just in its potential price tag. Its value lies in what it represents, the end of a 160-year journey. It's a tiny, tangible relic of a bygone era of cash and coins, a quiet witness to the relentless march of economic progress. Next time you're going through a jar of old change, keep an eye out for that 2004 date. Pick it up, hold it, and remember that you're holding the final, circulating word in a very long story. Silver-looking coin from 1966? It feels substantial. It has a portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth, and it says 2 shillings on it. You pick it up and think, this looks old. It feels important. Is it silver? Is it rare? Could it be worth a small fortune? Well, today we are going to dive deep into the world of the 1966 2-shilling coin. We're going to explore its fascinating history, break down its design, and answer the million-dollar question, or should I say, the 2-shilling question. What is its circulating value today? To understand this coin, we need to place it in its time. 1966. Britain was swinging, the Beatles were at their peak, and the world was changing fast. But in the pockets of every Brit, there was a monetary system that was centuries old. Pounds, shillings, and pence. 12 pence made a shilling, and 20 shillings made a pound. It was complicated. This coin, the 2-shilling piece, had a special name, the florin. It was introduced in 1849 as a first step towards decimalization. The name florin harkens back to a medieval European coin, giving it a touch of class that a graphic appears showing the pre-decimal system. 1 pound equals 20 shillings. 1 shilling equals 12 pence. The 2 shillings coin is highlighted. But here's the crucial part about the 1966 issue. The UK was on the verge of a monumental change. In 1971, just 5 years later, the country would finally switch to the decimal system we know today. That makes the 1966 2-shilling coin one of the last of its kind. It's a relic from the very end of an era. Let's get a closer look at the coin itself. On the obverse, we have the portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II. This is the work of Arnold Machin. It's a classic, elegant portrait that was used on British coinage from 1968, but this design was already being prepared in the mid-60s. You'll see the inscription Elizabeth II Deed G.Reg.F.D, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Now, the reverse I. It's worth getting it professionally authenticated. So, you've checked your coin and it's the common, circulated version. What now? I would argue its value isn't just in its price tag. This coin is a tangible link to a Britain that no longer exists. It's a teaching tool, a conversation starter. Keep it. Put it in a 2x2 coin flip, write the date on it, and start a collection. Show it to your kids or grandkids and explain the old money. If you really want to sell it, be realistic. On eBay, they often sell in lots of 5 or 10 coins. A single coin might only sell for £1 or £2, and after fees and postage, you won't make much. Your best bet is to include it in a larger collection sale or trade it with a fellow collector for something you'd prefer. So, to recap, the 1966 2-shilling florin is a beautiful and historically significant coin, marking the end of Britain's old monetary system. However, due to its massive mintage, its circulated value is low, typically between 50p and £1.50. Its true worth is in its story. But always check for those errors, the smooth edge, the proof-like finish, because those are the ones that can turn a common find into a treasure. I hope this deep dive has been helpful. If you have a 1966 florin, let me know in the comments below what condition it's in and how you found it. I love reading your stories. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more weekly journeys into the world of coins and currency. Until next time, happy hunting.